listen into conversations, because what the runners are seeing from a first AD is a very top-down approach. But if you want to be an AD or a second AD, third AD, if you want to be an AD, then be in on the conversations that runners are not in on. When the DP and the director and the first AD get together at the end of every shot or every setup or every time we move on and those conversations happen, listen in. Just be within earshot, which is also super useful for your AD, because he doesn't know, but she they don't have to be looking around for you, because there's nothing more frustrating when, like, I appreciate that my runners are busy, but when I don't see anybody around me, I do feel a little bit less supported. And I know that they are doing a million things, and you might be the only runner and you might be miles away setting up a fucking tea table. But at the same time, if I know that somebody is there, if I have 5 runners on set, the first one that I see is going to be the first one that is getting the juicy tasks of, doing something that is meaningful, doing something that you're actually going to learn from, not make me a cup of tea. But that's also personal preference. Some people like to use runners for their own ego massaging, but that's different. So presence is the first thing. Obviously, things like, even when you're bored out of your mind, just don't be on your phone, which is a very strange thing to ask now, because nowadays we're communicating with each other on WhatsApp. So it's not about don't pull your phone out and don't look like you're ever looking at your phone. It's, people can tell when you're just browsing, when you're checked out, that's when people can tell. There's a difference between messaging someone and just scrolling. So even if you're absolutely bored, find a conversation that you can listen into, because something is always happening. Usually the hotspot is around the DP. So if your DP is not a person who's kicking you out, who's actively just pushing people away, just hang around them, because that's where the good conversations are happening. And then the other thing that I personally really, really, really appreciate in all of my team, but especially runners, is conscientiousness. Have the courage to show how much you care, because we all care. But people who expose themselves how much they care, they become very easily vulnerable for exploitation, for criticism, for scrutiny. And some people just don't own up to it, that they really want to do it. They really want to be here. They really care about doing a good job, even if it's just a super small task. But when people show how much they care, especially in junior roles, then people in senior roles very easily overlook your mistakes, because they see that those are genuine mistakes. People who show that they are nonchalant, even if they care on the inside very much, they are very easily written off as they are just not good at their jobs, which is not true. They might just have extreme social anxiety, or they might have mental health issues that they are really trying hard to hide. That's my background. I was really struggling 10 years ago, and I was doing my absolute best to survive. But if you show up in a room with just the openness to communicate, the openness to take instructions, to collaborate, then even if you make a mistake, or even if you don't know something, people are not going to take it out on you as, I shouldn't be hiring this guy next time. They're just going to be like, he's learning and he really wants to learn, and they appreciate that. It's very useful to know what the person above you is doing, what they need. So if you're working with a full team, for runners, it's very helpful to know exactly what a third AD is doing. For third ADs, it's very useful to know what a second is doing, even they are like locally far away from each other, because second might stay at base for the whole day. Third and the first are going to be on the floor for the whole day. The runners are kind of going back and forth. But it's very useful to know what the person right above you is doing, because then you can anticipate. So when each and every job is different, and at the same time, they're all the same. So once a job gets into a routine, once a team finds their harmony, their dynamics, then every single day, even if it's a new location, even if it's new cast, even if it's a never before done scene, every single day falls into a rhythm. And if you can be one step ahead of you're anticipating what the next ebb and flow of the rhythm is, that's taking the step out when they need to ask you to do something. You can offer, they might have not thought about it, and you're offering it up that this is what's next. Do you want me to do it?